Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Szoboszlai confirms Liverpool contract talks but sends warning, no decision. Second news is Liverpool sidestep Mark Guehi transfer scrutiny as Arne Slot set to roll the dice. Now details. Szoboszlai has revealed talks are ongoing with Liverpool over a new contract, but warned there is no guarantee he will agree a new deal with the Premier League champions. Szoboszlai is more than halfway through a 5-year contract signed, when completing a £60 million move from RB Leipzig. In the summer of 2023, the Hungary international was a key player in helping Liverpool win a record-equaling 20th title last season, and has been the stellar performer during their testing defence of the crown this campaign. While Liverpool want to reward Szoboszlai for his contribution with an improved deal, they have had difficulty in recent years in reaching an agreement with several players over new contracts. Both Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah were only months away from becoming free agents when pennying extensions last year. Trent Alexander-Arnold opted to join Real Madrid, and both Ibrahima Konate and Andy Robertson are at present due to leave for nothing in the summer, with talks having thus far failed to reach a resolution over continuing their Anfield stays. And asked if negotiations are ongoing over a new contract, Szoboszlai said, "Of course, but there are always talks. You guys in the media make a lot for the people public, and you keep on going because that's your job, but there has been talks. But for sure not any decision has been made. There is always progress, but no decision has been made, and I'll just keep on going every week, every training, giving my best for the team, for the fans. Let's see what is going to happen in the future. I am happy here, but you know how football works, and that is something everybody has to take into account." Szoboszlai was one of 4 midfielders bought by Liverpool in the same transfer window. Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis Mac Allister are both also out of contract in the summer of 2028, while Wataru Endo is approaching the final 12 months of his deal. Second news is Liverpool sidestep Mark Guehi transfer scrutiny as Arne Slot set to roll the dice. When Liverpool last took part in open training, prior to their previous Champions League clash away to Inter Milan at the start of December, all eyes were on Mohamed Salah. Fast forward 6 weeks and it was a similar story for the Egyptian, but for rather different reasons. Back then, the fallout was still fresh from his explosive comments against Arne Slot and the club, having found himself benched by the Dutchman for 3 games in a row, unused in 2. Salah sensationally spoke out following the 3-3 draw at Leeds United only 2 days before the Reds' last open training session. Inevitably, his future at the club was cast into doubt. And while he trained, both Slot and Salah kept their distance from each other, denying the gathered photographers and cameramen their desired moneyshot in the process. Following the session, it emerged that Salah would be left out of the travelling squad that made the trip to Milan. Having called his own future at the club into question in the Elland Road mixed zone, it was a genuine possibility that he might have played his last game for the club. Only after amicable talks with Slot the following Friday did he earn a recall, claiming an assist off the bench in the 2-0 victory over Brighton and Hove Albion. But since then, the 33-year-old has been away at the Africa Cup of Nations, helping Egypt to an unexpected 4th-place finish. On Tuesday, he made his return to the AXA training centre. And after being assessed in the morning by club staff, prying eyes again waited to see if Salah would take part in training. 6 weeks ago, the No 11 had a toe out the exit door. But now, with Slot repeatedly insisting the matter is resolved, he is waiting to be unleashed back into the Liverpool fold. Salah was the last player out at the AXA training centre, closely followed by Slot. He quickly embraced Jeremy Frimpong, if not his head coach, and engaged with the likes of Curtis Jones and Hugo Ekitike before pairing up with Szoboszlai for a number of training exercises. All smiles throughout, it was as though he had never been away, with the long-serving forward very much back at the heart of the group. Having scored 4 times from 6 outings during his time at AFCON, Liverpool will hope Salah can continue such form now back on Merseyside to reclaim his previously undisputed starting place once and for all. The Anfield legend scored only 5 goals for the Reds prior to his international exploits, as his place in the side was called into question. Benched as a result, having not been at his best, it was still little surprise that he felt he had been scapegoated for Liverpool's overall poor form. Results have admittedly picked up since the bold decision. Since Salah was first benched by Slot at the end of November, the Reds have put together a 12-game unbeaten run, yet performances remain lacking. With 6 of those games ending in stalemate, including the last 4 Premier League matches, and 7 of the 20 goals scored coming in just 2 clashes against Leeds and Barnsley, it is clear that Slot's side have lacked something in the final third without their Egyptian king. Holding a loose grip on a place in the top 4, and currently sitting just outside the Champions League top 8, and a guaranteed place in the round of 16, a trip to Marseille marks the start of a Salah-led Liverpool's second half of the campaign. Only time will tell if it is a fruitful one. Questions about the Salah's future beyond the end of the season remain following his spat with Slot, but it is undeniable that the third highest goalscorer in the Reds' history could now help provide the missing genie size qua. Salah's return was not the only talking point in Liverpool's latest training session though. With his involvement confirmed, the attending media quickly deduced the absence of Ibrahima Konate. Fortunately for the Reds, injury was not the cause, with the centre-back already back in France due to family reasons. While his involvement against Marseille remains undecided, with Joe Gomez on standby to partner Virgil van Dijk as a result, Liverpool have at least not been strung at the heart of their defence once more. The online hordes would have needed no invitation to light their torches and sharpen their pitchforks had Konate been struck down by injury, given the Reds had just seen Mark Guehi join rivals Man City the day before in an initial £20 million deal. Had Crystal Palace not pulled the plug on his summer move to Anfield at the 11th hour on transfer deadline day, he would have been at Kirkby, preparing to face Marseille instead. Yet Konate's absence offered a reminder of Liverpool's ongoing tightrope walking when it comes to their centre-back options, with Giovanni Leoni already ruled out for the season with an ACL injury. Likewise, the sight of Calvin Ramsey reiterated their current plight at right-back, following Connor Bradley's own season-ending knee injury. The Scotland international might remain down the pecking order, but he is not yet eligible for Champions League matches either after being left out of Slot's European squad for the first half of the season. That could change when Liverpool's list is updated for the knockout stages, should they progress, but it highlights how, even with Salah back in the fold, the Reds will be travelling to Marseille with limited numbers. Slot's attacking options are bolstered again at least, with Alexander Isak now the only absentee in the final third, but including Konate, this is the Liverpool squad for the foreseeable future, providing they avoid further injury and remain inactive in the January transfer window. There are now no remaining cavalry to return until Isak in the spring. Results might have improved in Salah's absence, but things are still not quite right for the defending Premier League champions. Salah is Slot's next roll of the dice. Coming back with a point to prove, absence has made the heart grow fonder, but only time will tell if his return can truly reignite Liverpool's stuttering campaign.